What's up, everybody? How we doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome
Yeah.
to Tuesday night.
It's Tuesday. Did you have any tacos today?
No
Me either.
tacos.
Me
I
either.
did have tuna though.
Oh, yeah, it's Spam.
People still eat that? Bro,
Fried
that's terrible.
Spam. No, it's so good.
That's so bad for you.
I don't know what's in it, but I love it. I don't know what it is,
Yeah.
but I love it.
Bro. No more. No more.
I don't know what it is, but I
No,
love it.
you're done. You're done.
You're done. No, man. Cut it up in some cubes, fry it up with some fried rice. Mm.
Oh my gosh, bro.
With a little bit of yum yum sauce. So good.
Oh, bro, eat an apple.
Yeah. I did eat an apple today, as a matter of fact, at lunch. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of apples.
Oh, yeah. Apples are the best.
Give
They're
me
the
that
best.
boost. Give me that boost. I have a couple apples at lunch. Oh man.
Chemical in a
Kicks that.
can. You're probably right. I got some
Straight up.
preservatives flowing through the bloodstream right about now. Yeah.
Ugh. It just sounds so gross.
You know what's crazy though? Like, you ever seen the movie 51st Dates with Adam Sandler?
Yeah.
And he's like, you want me to make you some Spam and put some peanut butter cups? But they really do love Spam in Hawaii. Like, they love Spam in Hawaii. That's like the thing.
Really? That's
Yeah.
wild.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm good, man.
But
I'm good.
yeah, lots going on. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming to see us tonight. Appreciate it. Got lots to talk about.
We do.
Got lots to talk about. A lot of crazy stuff going on. A lot of, again, it's we're on week 2 of the Epstein saga, and everybody's still freaking out. And I'm like, calm down. Calm it down. It's gonna be okay.
Yeah. Just relax. I marked safe from panic of Epstein. Marked safe. Absolutely. I'm gonna show you some more clips. I'm gonna show you again what Trump just said, and I think it's pretty clear what he's doing.
Oh,
but then again, I don't know, man. People baffle me.
There's a lot of weird stuff going. Like, I can't wait to talk about some stuff tonight, because there's been some, when you talk about the weather and everything else, like, things are just weird right now. I mean, you got flooding. You realize 22 states, I think it's like 22, 23 states have flooding issues in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
that's
insane.
Pretty wild. That's crazy. I mean, when you think about it, is that not a little weird? Now, mind you, it is summer. Here in the South, it rain. There's a chance of rain just about every day because it's humid. But up north, like Pennsylvania, New York, all this crazy, like this is, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say about it other than it's strange that you got all these floods everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to like just jump on it because the whole strange July.
Yeah,
but the last July was pretty dang strange too.
It sure was. They said we were aliens. They said non-human entities were recovered from these crafts, and nobody batted an eye. Nobody cared. Yeah. That's the crazy.
Yeah, but what about the Epstein list?
Yeah. Right. Right. Unreal stuff, man. Unreal. How is everybody? How are you? Chat?
Doing good.
What's good?
Doing good.
What's good?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. We should just
all right. Let's pray to the one that makes all of this possible.
That's right.
We are nothing without him. We are nothing without Jesus, man. And I'm telling you, like, I have frustration. We are, like, I don't know if people think because we do this show like that we don't have, like, regular lives, but we deal with a lot of frustration. I got a lot going on in my purse, especially over the last couple of weeks, man. I'm tired. I've been up since 3:00 this morning. I get frustrated. I see stuff that frustrates me. But the key, ladies and gentlemen, and we touched on it last week, we can't scream faith and then allow the world to frustrate us to the point we lose said faith. You can't believe in God and then have fear, because fear is doing nothing but putting faith in the enemy and not your creator. You have to have emotional control. You have to be able to control your emotions. Things are frustrating. There are things me and Iz would love to happen. We're waiting, just like the rest of you, for all this stuff, for things to happen that we've been preparing for many years. And it can be frustrating. And then you get all of this stuff. I mean, you get on social media these days, and oh my gosh, it can be frustrating, but you have to control your emotions. You have to keep your faith. That is the biggest thing. You have to know that no matter what, God is going to find a way, and he's going to do it his way, not yours.
I actually find it interesting that in Hebrews, when they talk about, the Israelites and everything like that, and how did they not enter into God's rest? It was because of unbelief.
Yep.
And I think, like, we can look back at those times, and we can so easily be like, man, look at all the things they did. Like, look at all the Israelites, all the things they did. But I don't think, humanity or the body as itself is even better than then, And I think we have to check ourselves sometimes. And, I mean, I'm pretty sure David said it, or he said, and excuse me, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was David who said, help me with my unbelief. Was it David or was it someone else?
It sounds like David.
It sounds like David.
It sounds like
I can't remember
David
exactly where it's found in the Bible, but just help me with my unbelief. Help me with my unbelief. And things in life, circumstance, and everything like that, it can bring you down to a point, and you have to remind yourself. You have to remind yourself of your position, the impartation of authority that was given to you. Kevin mentioned something in one of his new videos in the Go Time video. He was talking about it. He's like, do you think Jesus, if you're one-on-one with him, do you think that he would be like, oh yeah, I guess you're right, No, because Jesus is always right. He's always right. And if something is not happening, it's not because of God. It's not because of Jesus. It's because of us. There's something in the way. And that may be just not recognizing authority and using the authority, because there's a lot of spiritual warfare out there. And there's demonic warfare wherever you turn. So if we have to get back and stay in that authority and sit in it, remember it, use it, that's what's going to, if we back off or cool off, Paul told us to fan the flame, and in Timothy, and in Thessalonians, he said, don't let the flame go out. If we back off, that flame starts to dim, and things start happening and all that, and we forget. No, don't get me wrong, we're going to deal with persecution, we're going to deal with trials and tribulations. Like Psalms talks about all the trouble that we're going to probably have. We're going to go through trouble, but it's standing on your faith. It's standing in the belief that no matter what faces you, God has a way out, and just remembering that authority for sure.
Yeah. We talked, we've talked every day for the last 3 days. I posted on X on Sunday, and I told Iz like it was for me, and it was about what if. How many of you paint scenarios in your head and you go, well, what if this happens? Well, what if those two words will sear your brain and cause you so much anxiety? Do you think that's God speaking to you saying, well, what if this happens? Well, what if this happens? No, that's that little discouragement, the little spirit right there with the big megaphone in your ear saying, what if? What if will cause you so much anxiety? And I had a lot of what ifs, not about anything happening in the world, stuff happening in my own personal sphere. And you have to have that mentality of even if God is still going to be there, he's going to see you through. The enemy wants you to be frustrated. The enemy wants you to give up hope. The enemy wants you to lose your faith. You can't do it. No matter what the world throws at you, you just can't do it. You have to, as somebody said in the chat, you have to control your mind and control your emotions, or else they will get the best of you. And with everything going on right now, a lot of people are like, oh, I saw people, we've been duped. Come on, man. No, we haven't. No, we haven't.
No, we haven't. Mark 9:24, by the way. Thank you all. That's where he says, help me with my unbelief. But yeah, in Hebrews, he does talk about their unbelief is what kept them out of going into God's rest. So if you want to, even today, I was like, help me with my unbelief, because I think it can be so tiny, incremental, where you may not even realize that is because of unbelief that, your thoughts and your emotions start to go down a different road. You have to remind yourself, if you don't have it, you have to remind yourself. Even David said, talked to himself. He said, why are you downcast, O soul? He had to talk to his own soul and be like, what's wrong with you? It's that constant renewal of the mind, your mind, will, and emotions. But yeah, man.
Yeah. In a world that's constantly attacking your emotions.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
And then throw a psyop or two in there, and your brain can get cooked if you aren't.
Yeah. There's a psyop happening right now. Trump is conducting a psyop on all of you. And maybe not you guys in the chat or in the replay squad. But man, we're gonna get into it. He doesn't care who's falling for it. I think more people that fall for it, the better, because it just amplifies the narrative and it keeps the deep state. Starts to flip, dude. It's literally flipping to where they're doing it for him. It's just it's so good, so good,
so good, so good. And we're gonna talk about it. Trust.
Yeah. But first, we're gonna get some prayers. So. Heavenly Father, we come before you in the name of Jesus. We just thank you for today. We worship you and we give you all the glory. We thank you for this community. We thank you for this show that we were already able to talk about your word a little bit, and at any given point in time, we ask the Holy Spirit to intervene and take over and say what needs to be said. And we thank you for that. We just thank you for the what's playing out right now within the nation. We understand that things can be chaotic. Things can look a certain way, but we don't look at the circumstance. We look to the future. We look to what we see, what you've shown us. We understand that you have a purpose for each and every one of us. You give us a hope in the future, and we look to that future and we see it. We don't look at the circumstance. We look at what you say is absolute truth about your promises. And so we thank you for that. We thank you for the future that you're preparing for us, and in your kindness, protecting us from our past, as Psalm says. So we thank you for it. We just ask for protection and for our troop. He's a troop president, but our president of the United States and all the men and women that are in the White House and in the military that are fighting on our behalf. And we thank you for the protection over everyone here tonight. We cover everybody with the blood of Jesus. We cover them with the blood of Jesus, that no harm shall come against them. In Jesus' name, we are in the secret place. We are in the cleft of the rock, and we thank you for it, for continuing to prepare and preserve us as your private stock. So one day you'll put us on the display that you wish, that is according to your will. And we thank you for it. So we just continue to declare against the enemy, anything the enemy is doing, trying to hold anything back from this nation, from us individually in this community. We rebuke the enemy in Jesus' name. We come against him. We bind the strong man that comes against anything, against our emotions, our anything that's being said in our mind, because we know what the Spirit is saying, and the Spirit is true because it's connected to you. And so we thank you for it, and we just thank you for tonight, and we just thank you for the days ahead, and we just ask that you continue to guide us and prepare us and just get us ready for what you have next, because we know that we are your next move, and we receive it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. You know, real quick is,
yes, sir.
You know, I'm always talking to my daughters, you know, trying to partake some wisdom on them, you know, about how the enemy works in the spirit realm against you. And my daughter, you know, she made some very bold declarations about what she is about to do with her life. And I said, now that's great. That's great. I said, but you need to understand, when you make declarations that go in line with what God has planned for you, when you declare something that God has ordained in your favor, and that is what he wants you to do, the enemy does not like that. They don't like when you say those things out of your mouth and you confirm what God has planned for you. And I said, be careful, because that's when the enemy likes to throw things at you in order to stop, because they've heard you make that declaration. And after we talked for about an hour, and after we talked, she said it wasn't 15 minutes, and she got a phone call from somebody that she hadn't heard from in a while. And she said, Dad, trying to wedge herself back into her path. And she said, Dad, it gave me goosebumps. It literally gave me goosebumps, because we had just had the talk about, when you speak something that God has planned for you and you declare that you are going to do it, watch out for the arrows, because they're coming. They're going to start slinging them at you. 15 minutes. And then she called me again. I'm like, what's going on? She goes, Dad, you're not going to believe this. And I was like, yeah, I believe it, because that's what they do. That's what they do. And it just, so again, you got to be careful. You always have to be on guard with anything. Bad relationships. I know we have talked about this stuff time and time again. But when you declare something and you speak it out, that you are going to do something, and it goes in line with what God has planned for you, the enemy will throw something at you, and you have to be able to recognize it and move around it. Don't give it the time of day. And she did it. She did it. She squashed it so quick. She's like, don't call me. Don't call me. I got time for that. But it just,
I mean, most of the time they're just looking for a reaction. That's the biggest thing. The demons, when they respond in that fashion, like you said, because they're listening. But then they're going to go do something because they want you to fall into a reaction that is going to send you something else.
Yep.
And so if you can recognize what's happening, and dude, I used to fall into these. They had me in a cycle.
Oh,
just constantly like, this dude's too easy.
Cycles. It's called. There's a song called Cycles.
Yeah, it
literally talks.
That's all they do. Once you start to recognize the cycle, and like now, it's like you can look at like the tricks they've played, and they still try them again, and you're like, I cannot believe I fell for it for so long.
So long.
So
it's almost
yeah,
frustrating when you think about it. Like, man, this used to work. This used to
yeah,
work.
yeah. It's
Nah.
stupid, man. It's
Mm-hmm.
stupid. But then once you start to understand it, it's they don't have any new ammo.
Mm-mm.
That's the thing. So that's why, like, asking the Holy Spirit to help you become unpredictable. Because if there's anything the Spirit can do, is make you unpredictable. You know, and that's the beautiful thing about being led by the Spirit. They don't know what the Spirit's going to do. So the demons are going to get to a point where they're just going to be like, demons are going to be getting demoted left and right, because they have to report. They have to report that their assignment is not going very well. Like, think about that. You're getting demons deported, yeah, demoted, deported too.
That's a hot topic word. It's
a hot topic.
Oh man, yeah, getting demoted, failures, make them failures. That's my goal.
Thanks for the subs, Rambo. I appreciate it.
Yeah, is Rambo in here?
Yeah, he just subbed out 5 people.
He said, "I'm not a demon." No, you're not a demon. You're my dude, man. That's my guy. But yeah, man. Like, what was it? One of my favorite quotes. You know, your Twitter now says Demon Slayer. I love it. I love it so much. Like, yeah. But C.S. Lewis, you know, I think I've used this quote before, but I love it. He says, "When I die, I want hell to rejoice because I'm no longer in the fight." And that is a mantra I tell my kids all the time. I want them to celebrate when my time comes, because I'm no longer up here talking smack about them.
Right. Yeah. That's the idea. Yeah. You want them to be super happy.
Yeah.
I want my picture to be in my picture. I want my picture to be in hell. Okay.
Most wanted.
Most wanted.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't get to him though, because he's figured this out.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all right.
Sure, man.
And it's nothing about me. I give all the glory for everything I've ever learned from God to Jesus. He is, without him, I can't do anything. Without him, I was not able to overcome anything. Man, the things, you know, I posted a little while ago about how your giant becomes your ministry. Now, we can talk about all these things about, you know, the word and all that stuff and go through biblical teachings, but I was thinking about it, and like, I have like this long list of things that were like all in one, of this one big giant that I could never overcome, right? It was just, and most of it was like lustful actions and, you know, just the immorality in general. Like, that was such a big giant for me.
Yes.
And once, you know, they talk about how like testimony is everything. Like, cause you're a giant. The fact that you can overcome a giant, well, then you can start helping people because you've been through it. Like, that was like, if you think of the one thing that you just struggle with the most, that you are overcoming, or you have overcome, or you may be still fighting it, but that is going to be used. And that's why God allows us to go through that and learn from it, because it is going to be used to help so many other people that are going through that same thing. And it's so you just get ready. You just get ready.
Yeah. Hey, hold on. I'm digging the tank top, man. I'm digging the tank top, bro. Yeah. I like it.
USA. Hey, one, he was big with little puffy, and then Rambo too. He got all shredded up. Yeah, that's kind of how you look right now. Oh, yeah, not Rambo 1 but 2.
Really?
Yeah, when he was cut up.
Well, I'm not that. I mean, that's what I'm going for. But
Come on, dude, you more shredded than a Julian salad, man.
Thanks. Yeah.
What's the secret, dude?
It's a diet.
Yeah. Because I'm trying to come up a little, but it's tough.
No, you look good.
Intense. What? Any tips?
You know, like a
Any tips? Any tips? Oh my gosh. That's such a funny movie. Like it's you more shredded than a julienne salad. Got any tips?
I had to do it. I'm always messing with ears because, yeah, man, my man's been doing his thing, man. I was like, tips. Got any tips?
Got the tips. So funny. All right. We're 30 minutes in. Baby.
Anyway, yeah. So you wanted to play a clip of.
I was just going to show the
Trump.
most recent one that he just posted. Yeah, we can. We'll talk. Oh, StreamYard over here, like be changing my buttons, dude.
Yeah, they updated it, man. I had to look for him. I was like, what's going on?
Got any tips?
Got any tips?
Got any tips? Oh man. Okay, this is nobody freak out, all right?
President, I know you've urged people to move on, but I'm curious, why do you think your supporters in particular have been so interested in the Epstein story and so upset about how it's been handled?
I don't understand it. Why they would be so interested. He's dead for a long time. He was never a big factor in terms of life. I don't understand what the interest or what the fascination is. I really don't. And the credible information's been given. Don't forget, we went through years of the Mueller witch hunt and all of the different things, the Steele dossier, which was all fake. All that information was fake. But I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring. And I don't understand why it keeps going. I think really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that going. But credible information, let them give it. Anything that's credible, I would say let them have it.
Bro, he straight up says all of that, and then he's like, but credible information, let's just let him have it. Come on, dude. Only the bad people. Only the bad people.
Yeah.
Fake news. The fake news
Yeah.
that want to deal with. Man, he is keeping everybody left and right. He's using everybody to the advantage of getting the Epstein stuff out. Getting the word
Streisand
out,
effect, man.
Seeding the public.
Yes. Streisand effect. How do you get... So he knows what we know. We know. Q told us. I didn't even know who Jeffrey Epstein was until I started reading the drops. Okay. And then I remember having those conversations with other people. I'm like, you ever heard of Jeffrey Epstein? And nobody knew who this guy was. Nobody knew who he was. But we knew for a long time. And if you listen to Trump, if you really think he believes what came out of his mouth, then you don't know Trump, because he's the one. Go back and look at his tweets. Got to do something about these kids. We got to do something about these people who went to that island. He would say it's going to be bad for anybody that's been to that island. He said that before he won in 2016. He was talking about Epstein Island. So how do you get both sides engaged in a subject? You brush it off. People on the right, you got these fake influencers out here on the right that don't know their butt from a hole in the ground, out here screaming and flipping on Trump and all this other stuff. And now you got people on the other side, though, going, well, he must be covering up because Orange Man bad and we need to see him, right? But what if you listen to some things that Trump said, like in the Truth Post that he had, that really long one, he's like, the guy that never dies. And that resonated with me, because how long have we said our belief has always been that he's not dead. Yeah. I do not believe he is dead. He is the key to everything. Do you need all of this information that they quote unquote say they have if you have the source of all of that said information locked away somewhere safe? No, you don't need it. You have the source. You have it. And then you also have a guy named Julian Assange who also has a lot of this stuff, right? And then we think about prophecy. Highly embarrassing moments when another Snowden arises, right? Well, what was Edward Snowden? He was an intelligence asset. Well, what was Jeffrey Epstein? He was an intelligence asset. Oh. That
Dude,
read
what if?
a little bit.
Yeah, dude. What if they brought him forward?
We all saw. We questioned from day
wild.
one. Many of us questioned. So when the Epstein didn't kill himself, I'm like, yeah, he didn't because he's still alive. I firmly believe he's still alive. I've told you why. I worked at a federal prison. I know how high profile inmates are handled. There's no way he would have been allowed to kill himself. There is no way, ladies and gentlemen. Unless somebody went in and did it, but I don't think that happened. I do not think that Trump's DOJ I don't think they allowed him to kill himself. I don't think he did.
Did you see this from the Rubber Duck?
No.
So this was a couple days ago. It's at Rubber Duck 79. Yeah, this is on the 11th. But you know, like how, you know, people would be watching the boards and all that stuff. And this was now we don't know. We don't know if this is like legit or anything like that. But so this is what is said. This is what was said on 8chan. Not saying anything after this. Please do not try to dox me. But last night after the 4:15 count, they took him to medical in a wheelchair, front cuffed, but not one triage. I don't know that word. Nurse says they spoke triage. Nurse says they spoke to him. Next thing we know, a trip van shows up. We do not do releases on the weekends unless a judge orders it. Next thing we know, he's put in a single man cell and hangs himself. Here's the thing. The trip van did not sign in, and we did not record the plate number, and a guy in a green dress military outfit was in the back of the van, according to the tower guy who let him through the gate. You guys, I am shaking right now, but I think they switched him out. And this was a post that was, I think, screenshot or something like that after the day after Epstein apparently died.
See, that makes so much sense. That to me ties everything up in a bow, because if a known intelligence asset, I know we've talked about this before, but we'll rehash it. If he was an intelligence asset, now that's starting to come out. You're having multiple people, even up in Congress, saying they believe this guy was an intelligence asset. We've had that theory for a long time. If you are into Q, this has always been in the back of your mind. Mossad, also CIA. The guy became rich out of nowhere. Okay, none of it makes sense. He's got ties to Les Wexner. All these people. His job as an intelligence asset was to lure, again, prominent people to an island, get them on video doing nasty stuff, and then you blackmailed them. You've basically infiltrated the United States government without a single shot or anything. You've infiltrated the government, and you have people within the government at your beck and call to do whatever you want. If that is true, who would handle that? Would the FBI handle that? If an intelligence asset knowingly infiltrated the United States government through blackmail, who would handle that? Not the FBI. The military would.
Military intelligence is yeah. Again, that's another thing with the military intelligence. There's no congressional oversight.
Right. So like we said last week,
yeah.
What if the FBI, they might not have anything, but I bet somebody does. I bet somebody has it all, and they have the source.
We got him all.
I would bet we caught them all. Nobody could do it but me. Right? And then, so now you think about this, Israel. He says Comey. He says Comey a lot. He's like, Comey made it up. Well, he never says, does he say James Comey, or he just says Comey? And then you go into the Q drops and you search Comey. And then we all forget that who tried Jeffrey Epstein's case in New York? Who was the lead prosecutor?
Comey's daughter.
Comey's daughter, Maureen Comey. The as a matter of fact, let me pull it up. It's look at this post right here. Post 4796. Oh, let me enlarge that a little bit. Can you read that?
No.
It's a no. All right, let me enlarge it some more then. There we go.
There you go.
So this is back in 2020. All right. This is where the United States Attorney's Office, right? The prosecutor was stepping down, and who did they put in this place? Lucas Issacharoff. Well, who's
Okay.
he married to? Is Maureen Comey.
Hmm.
So the big dog for the Southern District of New York steps down, and this was in the Q post, right? Hold up, U.S. Attorney of SCNY steps down, and Lucas Issacharoff steps in. This is Comey's son-in-law. Q pointed this out. He said, "Go down the bottom." What does he say? Follow the family.
Follow the family. Man, they give her everything.
Yes. Follow, eyes on, follow the family. So what if, because this theory has been floated out there already, what if during all this time, because do you really believe if Donald Trump and other people in the MAGA circle were on the Epstein list, that these douchebags wouldn't have dropped this list or whatever a long time ago? They absolutely would have. So now that you see all these Democrats clamoring for this list to be released, we could say, well, that's because they're playing right into his plan. Or Trump knows that they did something dirty with that information to try and frame Trump with it, which is why he brought up the Russia, and all this other stuff, because it's a smear job. They probably been sitting there this whole time cooking up something, knowing that if Trump ever got back in office, he was going to dump that information. So they probably tainted it, which again leads me to believe the military is the only way. It is the only way. And you showing that post, because I've never seen that, where it says somebody in military was in the van, it makes total sense. It makes total sense.
It would make
So
yeah, everything you just said makes total sense. If that, it was definitely military, like the FBI. None of these guys.
no,
These guys probably have Epstein files, but that's it.
mm-hmm.
They don't got no. They don't, and it's just another thing for under investigation. You know, if people are investigating with real investigations, real investigations don't have leaks.
Nope.
And I don't really know from a military standpoint of what that in the military can hold on until the right timing is the right timing. For they can just drop it whenever Daddy says go.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see that what Trump is doing is he's seeding the narrative between everybody, between the left, between the right, and most of the right is like, oh my gosh, Trump, this is not what I voted for. This is not what I voted for.
Sick. I'm so sick of seeing that. This is not what I voted for. Like, come on, man.
Relax.
Yeah. But he's playing it up perfectly because he's getting both sides really. One side he's getting angry. On the other side, he's getting interested in this subject. It's a win-win. The people on the right, these big influencers on social media, again, that don't know what they're talking about, they're just reacting to everything. They can get angry all they want. I do not care. I do not care. Because in the end, when this plays out the way we know it's going to play out, and then you'll have people say, well, you're just an optimist. No, I just have faith, and it makes you very angry, doesn't it? I understand that. They're going to watch how fast they come crawling back and be like, oh, I didn't know. No, you didn't know. You reacted, and you got on social media, and you regurgitated your emotions for everybody to see.
For real.
So, and again, is now with all this, you don't think it's a coinky dink. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to play the clip unless you were about to play one.
Which one? I was looking for one.
John Solomon.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Because again, in the background, now this is a 5 minutes, but in the background, while all this is going on, listen to this.
That is a topic we have discussed at length on this program. We literally spent 3 years on this show. You were a part of our ensemble cast. Greg Jarrett, Sarah Carter. I'm going to miss the names of too many people, so I won't continue. Unpeeling every layer of the onion to get to the truth when the rest of the media got it wrong and then ended up getting Pulitzer Prizes. We were proven right. We've been vindicated again and again. We were right about FISA abuse. We were right about the double standard in terms of top secret classified information. But what I'm reading in your piece tells me that starting with Russia, and the Russia hoax, all the way through Jack Smith, we're talking about every incident of weaponization used against Donald Trump and how it could be part of a broader, grander conspiracy theory, a conspiracy that actually took place and law breaking involved in it. And that also the statute of limitations would not be applicable in this case as a result. And this would include names like Comey and Clapper and Brennan. Take it from there.
Yeah, and Barack Obama, too, because he was in on these early meetings. So what the FBI has done is treated the last decade of weaponization, all the great work that James Comer has turned up through his oversight committee, and put it into a timetable and said, this looks like an ongoing conspiracy, a wash, rinse, repeat cycle of Democrat gets in legal trouble. Hillary Clinton in her email case, Hunter Biden with his taxes, Joe Biden with his classified documents. They're let off the hook even when there is extraordinary evidence suggesting they shouldn't be left off the hook. And then a parallel track occurs where the Republican, in this case Donald Trump, is investigated falsely for things like Russia collusion, Ukrainian interference, his own documents at his home in Mar-a-Lago. This is a criminal conspiracy. By treating it as a conspiracy, you eliminate the 5-year statutes on individual crimes. If something happened in 2016, but it was part of an ongoing conspiracy that continued with Jack Smith raiding Donald Trump's home at Mar-a-Lago, it can be charged in the larger conspiracy, even though if you tried to charge it in an individual case, you wouldn't get it. Furthermore, you could also change the venue. Remember the troubles John Durham had bringing prosecutions to Washington, D.C.? Jurors wouldn't convict, even if they thought there was criminality going on. In this case, you could pick a place like Florida, where Jack Smith did the raid on Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago house, and say that's where we're putting the grand jury. You get a more fair jury pool, a more fair grand jury pool. It gives Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, an enormous amount of flexibility to do something historic, finally bring some accountability for all the things that Chairman Comer and Chairman Johnson, Chairman Grassley, Chairman Jordan have brought and proved to the American people.
Yeah, okay. Bring us a little deeper into this, and more specifically, tell us what this might entail. Who might be appointed special counsel? How long this investigation is likely to take, and how involved will it be in terms of exposing something that we have talked at length on this program about, maybe more than any other show, and that is how the deep state has used these 3-letter agencies have been using their power, abusing their power. I don't care if it's the 51 intel agents that knew nothing about Hunter's laptop. I don't care if it's Russia. I don't care if it's a false valuation of Mar-a-Lago. I don't care if it's a double standard when it comes to top secret classified documents, how Trump was treated versus Biden versus Hillary Clinton. There's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah. There is. There's a couple things. First, because of the great work of Chairman Comer, Chairman Jordan, Chairman Johnson, Chairman Grassley, most of the evidence is already available for the Justice Department. You're not going to have to pry it out. Now, there are 2 pieces of evidence that Donald Trump could declassify that are still classified that would be explosive, and they would put it at the start of the conspiracy. Hillary Clinton is cleared from her email scandal by James Comey shortly after the FBI got new classified evidence from an intelligence agency saying there might be more criminality. It never got investigated. It got swept under the rug. The evidence exists in a classified annex in the Justice Department investigations documents. If Donald Trump were to declassify that, he would put this investigation on fast forward. Same thing, the day that the same time Donald Trump is being investigated at the start of Russia collusion, an intelligence intercept comes in saying that Hillary Clinton approved doing a Russian collusion dirty trick on Donald Trump, essentially sticking a fake scandal on him. Instead of the FBI taking that into account, they open up in that very allegation and evidence, which defies all investigative rules that the FBI has. If Donald Trump declassified those two pieces of intelligence, a special prosecutor would have a jump start. This could be wrapped up in a couple of years. You can pick anybody. You don't have to pick someone in the Justice Department. You can pick a Senate confirmed person like Lee Zeldin and get a prosecutor going.
And he's a lawyer, so that would be a good choice in my view.
He's a lawyer and a prosecutor, yeah.
Yeah, good point.
Yep.
All right, thank you both, John.
Boom. So think about that for a minute. 10 years. Basically 10 years. Conspiracy. Now, Joe Biden pardoned his son. 10 years worth of stuff. Yeah, 10 years worth of stuff, right? Durham Report. Everybody thought Durham, we've talked about this at length. We covered it all when all this was going down years ago. All that's on record. All of it is on record. There are parts of the Durham Report that are still classified, that all Donald Trump has to do is declassify. And everybody thought John Durham did a nothing burger. And if we were paying attention to stuff, John Durham was great. He got all these people into a courtroom knowing he wasn't going to get anybody in DC. You're not going to get any of these guys convicted. But he got it all on record. Everything where they all pointed the finger at Hillary. And again, there's still parts of the Durham Report that are classified that we haven't even seen. That all he has to do is declassify. And I know that day is going to come where he's going to declassify everything they need. But why am I talking about this is because why? It's all, remember we talked about this a long time ago. It's the why. Like everybody sees how they did it, what they did. Why did they do it? Why did Hillary Clinton and all the cabal go to such great lengths to smear Donald Trump? Because they're all pedophiles. That is the tie that binds them all. What is the keystone? What is the key to all of this? It's the pedophilia, because they know if the public ever finds out what they did on that island, it's game over. That's why they were willing to do Russia. That's why they were willing to do the Ukraine, all the impeachments, trying to throw them in jail, stealing an election. It's because of that one little dirty, dark secret that all of them carry with them, is that they're pedophiles. And now it's all coming together.
I mean, yeah, we talked about it 2 years ago. 2 years ago, we talked about it when Durham had the trial. And man, did he lay out everything. It went through Brennan, Clapper, Hillary, all the way up to Obama. It showed that Obama knew. Okay, now, obviously, just like you said, you're not going to get, the prosecution. You're not going to get them hit him with further crimes within DC and all these places. But at that time, we said what John Durham did, dude, he laid it out. He laid out everything. It's on record. Everything is on record. And I remember what John Durham said when he was talking. He's like, well, this isn't. I did what I was supposed to do, and it's up for the people to decide on how they want to look at it. Like that's what he left it at. But like you also just said, that not everything was declassified.
Right.
So and just John Solomon just stated that everything is at the disposal. There's nothing that's holding up anything that they need for evidence, especially all this new stuff that is opening up. But if Trump declassifies this stuff, which he will, I'm sure at the right timing, things will go. I mean, it's gonna be a point. Q said that all three movies playing out at the same time, right? So if we're gonna go back all the way back to like FISA, Russiagate. Now they're saying that this is 1,000 times bigger than Watergate. We know about that. We're talking about what's been happening within Hollywood and the pedophiles and the Jeffrey Epstein stuff, all the Jeffrey Epstein narrative seeding that's going on. It seems like they're building this up to a point where people are maybe right now are like, well, this isn't what I voted for. That they will all of a sudden get a big smack in the face with everything at once, and they're gonna be like, oh, this is what I voted for. You know?
Yeah. I mean, the pill has to be easy to swallow, right? So
Yeah.
you're building all this up. It's not a coincidence is that the Epstein stuff is front and center now. At the same time, the government just lets you know that they are building a case for conspiracy against all these people, and that the statute of limitations is out the window.
Right.
That's not a coincidence at all. So again, we can be angry because our personal expectations aren't being met, and we want it now. You're not going to get it. It's going to go exactly the way God intends it, right? This is his plan. The plan is so brilliant. It could have only been given by him. So I think we should be excited. The fact that both sides of the aisle are clamoring about Epstein, it is a beautiful thing as far as I'm concerned. And at the same time, they've just been notified that they're all under investigation, and there's probably going to be a special prosecutor.
Well, this is the beautiful thing about it. And this is just one reason how you can see that God is involved. So the left, I don't just want to say just the left, actually. It's I should say the deep state and the demonic stronghold that are within people that hate Donald Trump, right? That have for years and years and years just attacked him, done all these things, smeared him, tried to ruin his life, all these things. So Trump is using their hatred against them
To draw them in.
And this meme perfectly summarizes it. The left laughing at the elite pedophile ring conspiracy in 2016, and then this is the left now trying to connect Trump to the elite pedophile ring they previously denied existing.
Yeah. Isn't it
And
amazing?
Trump is just allowing them to do it, and he has no problem taking their jabs, their other little jabs, saying that he's part of it. He doesn't care, because what are they doing? It's making them all sucked into it. And man, it's almost like people have never experienced psychological warfare,
or they've never read books on psychological warfare. I mean, there's 3 pretty good ones that explain a lot of the things that are going on right now.
I mean, this is a Democrat from California.
Oh, Ro Khanna. Yeah.
Oh, we got a buffer.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
I introduced today an amendment demanding the full release of the Epstein Files. The Speaker's Rules Committee should demand a vote tomorrow.
Okay. You get the idea.
I can hold on. Let me try it on my end. Hold on. Cause
my connection's a little laggy apparently.
Yeah, I got it.
A storm's rolling through.
Yeah, we did too today, man.
Mr. Speaker, I introduced today an amendment demanding the full release of the Epstein Files. The Speaker's Rules Committee should demand a vote tomorrow of every member of Congress. Yes, we should release it, or no, we should not. This is a question of whose side are you on? Are you on the side of protecting the rich and the powerful who've put their thumb on the scales of government to suck out millions of dollars while working class Americans suffer? Or are you on the side of the people? The Attorney General said on her desk was the Epstein file. And now she's saying, no, nothing to see. Don't release it. This is a question of trust. We need to release the Epstein files so we can restore government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And every member of Congress tomorrow should be forced to vote on this amendment.
Okay.
Never thought I would agree with a Democrat.
Again, now think about it. Where have these people been for the last 8 years? They've been telling all of you that this was a nothing burger, right? Again, they tried to kill Donald Trump. They tried to throw him in jail. They tried to impeach him. I've lost count how many times they've tried to impeach this guy. All right. They raided his home. They did all this stuff, but never once did any of them go, you know what? We should release the Epstein files because he's in them. Make it make sense. When you think about that, it makes total sense while Donald Trump is doing what he's doing. He is K-fobbing the crap out of this thing and trying to bring all eyes to a sub. Nobody does it better than, it's like we haven't been watching this guy for 8 years. Nobody does it better. Nobody gets the media and everybody in the country to talk about a subject he wants them to talk about better than Donald Trump. And now both sides are freaking out. And I love it. I'm sitting here basking in the ambience, man, because I see exactly what he's trying to do.
Dude, I seen a report. Now, I don't know the legitimacy of it, but I heard something along the lines of that the White House reached out to these big conservative podcasters and said for them to just stop talking about the Epstein stuff. And to me, if that is true, all that shows me is that exactly what we've been saying is they know now that you can see the right that, like we've just been talking about, like, I didn't vote for this, all this stuff, that they took the bait. The right took the bait, the left, they take the bait. Everybody's taking the bait. They don't care. And the more they push that narrative, even to the right, actually, I think it helps seed the narrative. If you feed the right, the clear psychological warfare, misinformation, that it pushes even further. So they reach out to these podcasters because these podcasters don't know anything about the psychological warfare at all, at all. They don't know squat. Trump is brilliant. He's going to use anybody he can, and right now he's using the right to basically, because he sees the panic in him. He sees the panic in him.
Because if you're on the other side and you're seeing these people on the right get upset, well, then obviously you can be like, oh, his base is turning on him. I should be interested in this subject. Yes, you should. We should all be interested in it. We should all want to know what people in our government and in Fortune 500 companies and Hollywood and all of them were doing on that island. Everybody should want to know. So when I see anybody come out and say, just move past it, it's done. No, it's not.
It's not.
But I'm not going to sit here and throw a temper tantrum either. I'm going to sit here and enjoy the show. I'm going to enjoy it because I know how this ends. If you think they're going to get away with it, they're not. None of them are. None of them are going to walk. None of them playing the game are going to get a free pass. That's where your faith comes in, though. Again, that's where you got to control your emotions and just start thinking critically. Like all of a sudden, the Democrats want the Epstein list to be released after 8 years of denying that it was even a thing. That should have clued everybody in right there. And they can say, well, it's because Donald Trump is saying to ignore it and the Democrats think he's on the list. You don't think they would know already? They most definitely would know. They would have already used it. That's common sense. They tried to kill the guy when they could have taken him out and exposed him for supposedly being a pedophile. But they didn't. They chose to try and shoot him in the head instead and throw him in prison. So, again, enjoy the show because that's all it is. That's all it is.
I mean, that's just it. Dude, I don't care if Trump comes out tomorrow and he says, everybody who talks about Epstein is gay from now on. Okay. I don't care because I'd be like, that's funny. You know?
Seriously, man. Seriously. Like, people need to take a chill pill for real and just let this play out, because I promise you, it is not a coincidence that they announced that these investigations are taking place. And I'm going to throw this out there again. If what we know is true, that all these people committed a conspiracy to overthrow the United States government and all this stuff. The FBI is not going to handle that case anyway, ladies and gentlemen. When, to me, them coming out and remember we talk about dog whistles all the time? A dog whistle, all right, makes people react. It makes a dog react when you blow the whistle. So why would I come out and announce, hey, all of yous are under investigation? Well, because it causes a stir, right? It gives some people something to talk about. But I believe that if they're coming out and saying it now, they already have an ironclad case. You know as well as I do, we have it all, right? We've heard that many times. We have it all. No such agency. Chilling, just doing work. Biden tried to shut him down. Didn't work.
Didn't work.
Or whoever, not Biden, whoever was using Biden as a figurehead to do their nefarious schemes.
Zines.
Yeah. So let it all play out. Remember, we were all getting frustrated. Comer, see, you just had Comer on that, and they were like, the Republicans aren't doing anything. They're having all these, they're getting all these meetings and getting people to come testify, and nothing's being done with it. And then what did John Solomon just say? Because of the work Chairman Comer did, they already got a jump start on this case. They don't have to go digging for the information. He already has it. So here, a lot of people are getting frustrated. Republicans aren't doing anything. I was one of those. All right. I was like, what is this? That nothing's coming of any of this stuff. But then when you sit back and think, you're like, okay, they have troves of evidence. They have troves of people on record. And now all of a sudden it's announced that all these people are under investigation for conspiracy against the United States government. And then it all makes sense. Because again, the why. Why did they do it? Why did they go to such great lengths to get rid of Donald Trump? Because they're all pedophiles.
Well, that's just it too. So you can look at the stuff through congressional oversight and everything that like Comer and all these people are doing. Cool. Like you can have these investigations and that's great. The FBI, they can have these investigations. That's great. But I just want people to also remember that if the military has its own stuff going on, nobody knows about it. Nobody in Congress knows about it. So any investigations that the military courts have been, doing behind the scenes that maybe could be dropped at any given moment. Any given moment. They could be like, oh, okay, well, like with what John Solomon talked about right there. He's like, well, for the next, this could be pretty much wrapped up in the next couple of years, right? Next couple of years. That probably scares a lot of people. But the military could have something way more, extravagant that they've been investigating for years that they could drop it at any given point in time. And nobody in Congress is going to know about it. Nobody. That's what keeps you off guard. That's the beautiful thing about military intelligence versus, your agencies that are under oversight, like the CIA.
Right.
And all that stuff.
Because again, if an intelligence asset use blackmail to infiltrate the United States government, that's an act of war. That's an act of war against the United States. If Hillary and all these people did what we know they did, that is treason. The FBI isn't going to try anybody for treason. The military is.
Correct.
Need I say more?
I mean, they could. I mean,
they could, but I don't think.
Who tried to do it to Snowden?
Yeah.
But this is a whole different ball game.
Oh, this is a whole different ball game than letting the American people know the government's spying on them in their cell phones. It is a whole different ball game. He didn't try and overthrow the United States government. You know what I'm saying? He didn't steal an election.
Wow.
He didn't try and
harvesting kids.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All he did was let the American people know, like, hey, the United States government is listening on all of your phones. They're listening to everything you do. X key score. Right. So,
yeah, we're talking about Gideon's army. And that's another thing too. Like with Trump's comments and all this stuff. Like those that weren't actually, I hate to use the word loyalist, but just understanding Trump's tactics and understanding like what the military can do, and just standing by by the side of what is going to be the greatest president in the history of the nation. Like you can see the people through this stuff that Trump has done and said in the last couple days, couple weeks, that a lot of people were never really on his side, and they're just there for the emotional swings. And they still think that Trump is, that's another thing. They think that Trump is not necessarily any different than the past presidents. And if you don't understand the fight against the cabal and what has transpired just in the last 10 years, you don't get it. You don't get it. I can see who, scrolling X, who has been down the rabbit holes of the deep state cabal and who hasn't. I can see who has easily by just watching them tweet. It's not very difficult. Anyhow.
Yep.
Anyhow.
I'm loving it. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm also like, I'm ready for this to go down just like all of you are. But it has, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse again, but we only get one shot at this, y'all. Like it has to be done perfect. It's not going to be what any of us expect either. I can promise you that. How it ends, I don't think it's going to go the way any of us expect. But it's going to end, and they're all going to go down. See, I'm more rooted in prophecy. I mean, many will fall. They're going to fall. I don't know how. I don't know when. Yeah. I just know it's going to happen.
And that's just it. It's not even necessarily about the prophecy of when they fall in the fall. It's about understanding absolute truth. It's about understanding how God operates. And it's about understanding if you wage war against the demonic, against these principalities, and in unity of the faith, if you come against this stuff and continue to pray, guess what's going to happen? It has to come out. It has to be revealed. I mean, just look at the purity of children, right? And the things they've done to kids. You don't think God is angry about that?
Oh, like, extremely angry.
Like that. Like I can just like, and it's actually absolutely like saddening. Like imagining like Jesus. You ever like just try to like go to heaven in your mind, just shut your brain off and just like picture Jesus in heaven, just laughing with the children, running with the children and all this stuff, just, having a good time and what have you. And then stuff like this to happen on earth. Like imagine what the Father in heaven is thinking. And imagine the plan he's put together to watch these people all go down.
Yeah.
It has to bite them.
Oh, it's going to. They've
taken the purest form and came against it. Anyway.
Oh, it's going down. It's going down, brother. You know it. I know it. It's the, like the title of the show, the end is near. It's the end of their world. Like they have had control. I mean, I got all of my feels today because I'm just like, I'm tired of being a slave. I'm tired of this system, how everything is designed. Nothing works for us. Nothing works for us. We're supposed to be the most prosperous nation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And nothing is working
no excuse
for anybody. I'm tired, just like all of you are. I'm tired of seeing these people who I know are wicked as all can be and nothing happening to them. I'm tired of seeing people struggle every day with finances and everything else. I'm tired. So I know in the end, God is going to win and we are going to be freed from this system of slavery once again, from these evil people, the same evil people who enslaved the Israelites for 400 years. Right? And then they got freed. And this ties back to what I was talking about at the beginning of the show. They were freed and still had the audacity to complain. Moses is up on the mountain talking to God, and they're down here complaining and building idols to other gods. Well, the God of heaven parted the Red Sea for them. Like, I hope when this all goes down, Israel, I hope and I pray that we don't see that again. That we get freed from all of this and people still complain. I hope that doesn't happen.
Unfortunately,
really
we are
do.
in this great falling away. The remnant is growing. See, like, I don't know how to say it. Like, the body's growing, the remnant's growing. The body is big, okay, but it's very lukewarm. And Satan loves lukewarm. In fact, he likes to sit in lukewarm churches. That's where he thrives the most. But the remnant is growing. House churches, fellowships, the strength and the authority, that stuff is growing. So really, I mean, you can see, and I'm not saying that like we're in the end. Like, we are in the end of times. I get it, but we don't know when the actual end is actually going to be, you know, like we could have a whole other lifetime, or more. I don't know. I'm not focused on when he's coming. That's why I don't really focus much on eschatology, is because like, I don't care like how he comes back or when he comes back. Like, I'm more focused on what he wants me to accomplish here now. Like, everyone's like, oh, everybody, I seen this one, some one Christian lady on X. She's a TikTok too, but she's just all about end times. You've probably seen her, and it's get ready, because the Lord's returning. You know, Paul told people, if you don't work, you don't eat. And he told them this because they were quitting their jobs because they thought Jesus was about to return. This was Paul telling these people. And it's still happening. So like, I understand, be right with God, get right with God, but stay right with God.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And you don't need to focus on like, oh, Jesus is going to come back any day. When he comes back, he comes back. But in the meantime, we got work to do. In the meantime, we got a 1 billion soul harvest we're preparing for. And I believe it's already begun. That's why, like, that's how I felt. And when Kevin released that video and he said, the time for preparation, there's a time coming too. It's going to be go time. And all that preparation, there's no more time for preparation. It's you're now going into the field, and what you've learned is what you prepared for. So like, if things all of a sudden, like, God says go, and you're like, you know, you've been saying you're ready this whole time. I'm ready. And then when it happens and he sends you out into the field and you're like, oh, this is a lot. And he's going to be like, but I thought you were ready. You know, it's like he wants to use each and every one of you. So
where'd my camera go?
I don't know. It looks better this way.
Oh, shut up. I hit the wrong button. I was like, where did my camera go? So yeah. This week, situation normal, all screwed up still.
Situation normal.
Snafu. I don't want to say what the F word is in that snafu, but situation normal. All right. We just got to roll with the punches, man. We just got to roll with it. Control our emotions. All that good stuff.
Real though.
In the end, all will be right.
Yeah. Okay.
All will be right.
If you're an avid, because like I shouldn't say avid, but even if you are, the only social media site I really scroll at all, actually it's the only one I scroll, is X. Okay. If you see any of these accounts, these conservative accounts that have millions of followers or hundreds of thousands of followers, and they are going with their emotions because of something Trump says, because as soon as Trump says something and Trump knows they're going to do it, they all take the same clip and they all post it, and it's like bam, 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 and it's just your whole feed is just everybody talking about the same thing, and people just go after it and go after it. They're just like, oh my gosh, yeah, the sky is falling. Trump said something again. Okay. When you see this stuff, because it's going to happen again, okay? It's gonna happen
many
again.
times over. Many times over.
Just ignore these people. I don't think I follow. Unfortunately, like there's so many accounts I don't follow that I still see. I've had to mute some that I'm just like that I absolutely cannot stand to listen to, like at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like cat turd, dude's muted, unfollowed, muted. Can't even. Don't even want to see it. Emotional people, a bunch of emotional people. Get out of your emotions on X and go outside or go read your Bible.
Yeah, that's what I do. No matter what happens, because again, I got stuff happening in my personal life. Nothing like too crazy. Just it's been a crazy couple of weeks. I don't let it get to me. I praise God. Whenever I feel like I'm getting down or frustrated with something, I praise God. I thank Him. I thank Him repeatedly. Thank you, because I'm still here. No matter how crazy the world gets, I'm still here. I still woke up today, so I'm so thankful. And you got to roll with the punches. That's life every day. You got to roll with the punches, man. You got to embrace the suck. But you can thrive in the suck too, though. Nothing's ever stopping you from thriving with anything. Ever.
It's all about that thriveness, baby.
Yeah, it's all about that thriveness. You got to overcome, man. You got to overcome. And yes, pray for discernment. That is the biggest thing, man. You got to pray for discernment. You got to ask God, help me make sense of all this. Like, help me make sense of it. Give me the discernment to see what is really being presented to me. Again, like I said last week, you have to look past what's presented to you as reality in order to see what is really going on. You got to look past it. You got to pierce that veil. And then you ask Him for wisdom. That's the biggest thing. I ask Him every day. Thank you for wisdom and discernment, because I need it. Otherwise, we'd be going crazy. We would be out here emotionally tweeting. And I'm not going to say I've never emotionally tweeted, ladies and gentlemen, because I have. I have.
We know.
Oh, we know. So, yep, I'm not perfect. Yeah. But we are in a psychological war. Like, this is a different kind of war than any of us have ever seen. In our past, we saw it on TV, bombs dropping, guns shooting, all this stuff. This is a completely different kind of war. Completely different kind. And what's crazy is if you go back to 2020, they told you what kind of war this was. Remember when Joe Biden says, we are battling for the soul of this nation? No truer words have ever been spoken out of that guy's mouth, other than when he admitted that they had the biggest fraud, election fraud organization in the history of whatever. He said, we're battling for the soul of this nation. That was serious talk. And if they can control this, then they can usurp that and take something from you. That's why you got to control this. You got to stay level-headed. You can't let this stuff get to you. You got to find the right people. I'm not saying I don't know everything. I don't know everything. But I know enough to not let that stuff frazzle me and to see the bigger picture. And once you see the big picture and the picture that is trying to be painted, it really starts to make sense. And it will bring you that level of calmness, your zenness. It brings it down.
Mm-hmm.
And you can be a little more chill.
I mean, that's, Paul specifically focused a lot on the mind.
Mm-hmm.
And, I heard something the other day about if you can take the mind away from someone, or get them in their mind, get them in their emotions, all this stuff, you can destroy them.
Yes.
You can destroy them. So, so that's just it. If it's this battle, just like Chris is saying, we're all guilty of it. We're all guilty of being in our emotions one way or another. I said to someone the other day, I can give great advice and then have a hard time the next day taking my own advice. I get it. Like, I totally get it. But that's why it's so so important to constantly renew it each and every day. Each and every day, renew your mind. Get into the word. Remember, you have to, encourage yourself, or have the Holy Spirit encourage you through the word, because he's the enforcer of what is absolute truth. Again, the promises. You got to remind yourself of all this stuff. No matter how things are going in the world, he has promises for you. You can opt out of a lot of this stuff, right? It gets back into that belief system and getting rid of the unbelief, just because things don't look like they're happening exactly how you perceived, or just not in the right timing, doesn't mean they're not happening. In fact, most of the time it's us. We get in our own way. Half the time we think it's a demon, it's our own flesh.
Yep. It's those emotions, man. Those emotions can be strong. Strong. All right, man.
Yep.
With that said, y'all, we're going to start to wrap things up here. But I think we're going to do like we did last week. Same thing. But again, if you do want to help support us, we do have some people that like you can go to MyPillow, promo code Alphavets. All right. Save up to 80%. Go help out a great small business. M. Joseph Creations. He makes some bomb candles. All right. You're helping out a small business.
I would pick it up, but it's it's been burning for a long time right in front of me, and it's pretty hot.
Yeah, I got my alpha male right here. So I saw somebody in the chat earlier said there's the barbershop. Now, in my car, I have the barbershop air fresheners because I just love the smell like that. So if it smells like my air fresheners, I'm probably gonna have to get me one of them barbershop candles. M. Joseph, definitely gonna have to get one of those.
Barbershop
for sure.
All of that info, especially for like the replay and for people that don't know it. And if you're watching us on X and you've never been on our Rumble channel, you can go into our Rumble channel, Alphavets. But in the link, in the show, in the description below, has all the stuff. You can go to our website, alphavets.online. It also has all the other links there. I still got to add M. Joseph to it, but in the website, you can see all the guests and stuff we've had on. You can get the where we're my ex, Chris's ex, and all that stuff. But mypillow.com, God First Gear. If you want all of our Alphavets gear, it is at godfirstgear.com. And you can use the promo code Alphavets pretty much on everything that we talk about. But yeah. So don't forget about these small businesses. And I know MyPillow might not necessarily be a small business, but they've done a lot for not only us, but they have done a lot for this nation. And but yeah, don't forget to support these other small. I'm not just talking about helping us, talking about helping other people, these small businesses that really need it.
Faux show. Oh, one more thing I did want to touch on is, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been paying attention, got to talk about gold and silver real quick. Okay. Silver busted through the $39 resistance yesterday, and they did exactly what I thought they would do.
Yeah.
They smacked it back down. But if you're noticing, every time they do smack it down, it doesn't last very long. Remember before when they would smack it down, it would stay there for weeks, months, and not break that resistance barrier. And now you're just seeing, like we've always said it would start to do. It just starts inching up and inching up and inching up. And it's going to get to a point they won't be able to stop it. If you go ask Grok, I know numerous people have asked Grok, like, what's the most undervalued? It's silver.
Yeah.
It is silver. Silver to me is gold is great too, but not everybody has $3,400 to drop on an ounce of gold. But I guarantee you might have $38, $39. You're going to pay a little bit above spot if you get it from certain places. But considering now to go, even if you go to McDonald's these days, family of 4, you're looking at $40. I mean,
it's higher than that, bro.
Yeah, and McDonald's is nasty. So I mean, I'm just saying, but pay attention to silver, pay attention to things like XRP and stuff too, because you got a lot that is going down right now with the financial system, and I know a lot of you are paying attention to it. Things are changing. It might not seem like it, but things are definitely changing. There is a lot of coals in the fire being stoked right now, and one day you're going to wake up and everything will be different.
All the framework is being implemented at this given point, and people aren't noticing it. So they're building this framework in, and then there's going to be this flip. There's going to be a flip, but it's happening. It's definitely happening, and I think, call me crazy or anything like that, because I don't really know for sure, but I think this summer has a lot of potential to see a lot of major changes.
Oh, most definitely. Well, look, he put a 50% tariff on copper. What happened to copper?
Ooh,
Pew! Right?
Loved it.
And he said it was for national security reasons. I'm going to tell you right now, if there's something that deserves a national security issue, it's silver. Silver is in everything. It's in everything. It's in all of our weapons. It's in all of our infrastructure. Again, we're on, I think, 4 straight years now of a deficit. We're using more silver than they're mining out of the ground. And yet it's still at an 88-to-1 ratio with gold. It doesn't make any sense unless it's being heavily manipulated, which we all know it is. You can count it. You can, like clockwork, anytime it breaks the resistance barrier, they're going to smack it down. They're going to sell a whole bunch of paper ounces that they don't have. Because again, we are in a deficit. Sooner or later, that dam's going to pop. Now, what do you think would happen if Trump comes out and you go, you know what? There's another critical element that poses some major national security risks, and that's silver. What do you think will happen if he put a 50% tariff on silver?
Holy smokes, bro. That'd be flipping wild.
But I just saw somebody in the chat. So what he did do, though, is he put an additional, 30% tariff on Canada and Mexico. Well, guess where a lot of silver comes from, ladies and gentlemen? Canada and Mexico. So again, you have all the Epstein noise and all this other stuff. And over here in the background, just chilling, is our financial system, right? You're learning things like, oh my gosh, we're actually in a surplus for the month of June. We had a budget surplus. We brought in more money than we spent.
Just like McKinley.
Yeah. And we're bringing in all this money for tariffs. Me and Iz laid this out. You have to build, the financial system is being built in the background right in front of your eyes, and it's the tariffs. In order to make the changeover successful and the least amount of headache for everybody, you have to build up that other side through tariffs, through bringing in all this extra revenue. And that's going to continue to build. He's not even done with trade deals yet. So I can't stress enough. I'm not telling you to go out and break the bank. If you have some, you need to be getting you some silver. Okay? Hands down.
Or some XRP, man.
Yeah, or some XRP.
Or both.
Yeah. Again, you got Bitcoin. Nobody. Who's buying all the Bitcoin? It's $100-some thousand. Then you got XRP down here chilling. No, I'm not either. I like the tech. I like XRP. I like the tech better. And
I like the price.
Y'all have watched this show. I was not a big XRP crypto guy until I actually, thank you, Bodie, and a couple other people explained how this stuff worked. We had some people on the show explained how it worked. It makes sense. So that's all I got to say about that. Yes, I like to physically hold silver too, AC. I don't.
Yeah,
no
don't
paper.
Be getting them,
no paper.
No paper contracts. Don't be.
No
don't
ETFs.
Be doing that. Someone asked me about the other day. They're like, can I do an ETF? I'm like, absolutely not. Don't you dare. Don't you dare do an ETF.
Never. All right. Well, do any of you in the chat? So we got 2 food boxes we're going to give away right now, and then we're going to give another one away to somebody on the replay squad. Replay squad. Does anybody need food? It's okay. There is no shame here. We have all needed help at some time in our life. Or if you know somebody that needs help, if you don't need it, but you know somebody that does, you know what to do in the chat. Say food. And I'll give away to the first 2 I see.
Truth, justice. Yes, I back. I think it was in November or something like that. I sold off all my XRP so I could
And then
pay
I
my
bought it
rent,
back.
and then I bought it all back.
And then I bought it all back. Sure did. Sure did. We're like, hey, that was stupid. Let's go buy it back. Cause yeah.
I still stand by.
I still stand by it. Yeah.
I still stand by everything we talked about with Firepoint.
I'm glad you brought that up. So I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, but did you see Trump announce that there's going to be in Pittsburgh, there's going to be this big energy. Okay. Carrie Bartlett and Sunny D26. Send us an email at alphavetsmedia@gmail.com. Carrie Bartlett and Sunny D26. Send us an email at alphavetsmedia@gmail.com. All right. All right. We got you. Let me write it down, though, too.
And then the replay squad. Replay squad.
And then somebody in the comments on the replay.
Say food in the comments.
Yeah. But Trump announced that there's going to be a big energy investment in the state of Pennsylvania. Now, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there that there is a certain energy project underway right now in the state of Pennsylvania, Firepoint Energy, Firepoint E. I don't know. I would like some clarity on that. It tickled the feels when I saw that, because they're still up there breaking ground and getting everything set up.
But there is more to it. Remember, I talked about it a couple weeks ago, that they're getting ready to, because they did the reverse merger with XL Plus.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're bringing XL Plus back. So that thing's going to start ticking soon. And like, that's XL Plus is one of the things we were talking about back in November when we were talking about the prophecy of the X and the P. And there's something in the middle of it, right? Well, their logo is X and a P, and there's a leaf in the middle.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's coming back online. So there will be a ticker for Firepoint. Now, it would be pretty wild to see if this $75 billion investment happened to be somewhat, even just a little bit towards Firepoint, because they are in Pennsylvania. Yeah.
And wasn't he supposed to be meeting with Trump?
I don't know necessarily.
I thought he was.
They do a lot of the rare earth minerals, and that's what
Right.
something Trump is doing. He's been announcing unlocking rare earth minerals for a long time now. He's been saying it for his rallies for the last year. So, I mean, my eyes are still looking towards Firepoint Energy and XL Plus. I have XRP. I have silver. Okay, these are things, but when Kim Clement prophesied about Firepoint, he talked about within a 14-month period that if you got involved in it, it'd be more than you could possibly imagine. So I'm just saying, Firepoint Energy, XL Plus, these are the things I'm just watching. This isn't financial advice. This is the stuff I pray about. This is stuff that we've uncovered over the years. We were the first podcast to give Bill Smith an interview of Firepoint Energy.
I'd like to get him back on here just to get an update on how things are going up there.
I'm sure we could. I'm sure he would.
Anyway, y'all, thanks for joining us. It's been a pleasure, and I hope everybody has a great rest of the week, a wonderful weekend. Again, let's just watch all this play out. Just give it time. I have a feeling I'm ready for fall, number one, because it is hot. It is hot this summer. It's freaky hot. Like, I'm tired of the heat and the humidity. It was 85% humidity here the other day. I thought I was going to die.
That's how it is. That's how it is here.
Oh,
it wasn't even that hot today. It was like 85, but like,
but the humidity
heat. But I was just dripping.
Yes. It's like getting smacked in the face with a wet towel repeatedly. It's like, So yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for the fall. also because I believe by the time fall rolls around, things are going to be very interesting.
I believe so. And even if not for the nation, it can for you in your personal life.
That's right.
Because God
That's
can
right.
do amazing things in short amount of time. He's the king of suddenlies.
That's right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, God bless y'all. We love you. We'll see you next Tuesday.
On a
Holla.
Tuesday.
On a Tuesday.
All right, y'all. We'll talk to you later. Holla.